guys! So since yesterday was Earth Day, today I'm going to show a little craft that shows how to reuse some paper from your recycle bin. We all know the 3 R's are reduce, reuse, and recycle. So the best thing to do is reduce. The second best thing is to reuse. So here's a way you can take some paper out of your recycle bin and turn it into a cute little sketchbook. So for the things you need some paper from your recycle bin. I found some cool colored stuff and also some white ones. These all have something on one side, but not other side, so we're going to be using the blank sides. You're going to need a piece of cardboard, a cereal box works really well for this, and then if you're feeling fancy, you can find some kind of fancy paper for the cover. I've got this piece here of handmade paper that was actually made from recycled things in the Hollander that we have here at the Art Center. So, those are my papers. What else you're going to need is you're going to need a hammer and a nail, or if you have an awl, you can use an awl. You're going to need a darning needle, you need some string, glue stick, and scissors. And that's it. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do with all of my colored papers here, or all of my inside papers, is I'm going to take them and I'm going to fold them so that the picture, or whatever is printed on them, ends up on the inside. If you have any papers that were a different size, you're going to want to cut them to the same size. Alright, so now I have all my papers. Now I also want to cut a cover that's just slightly larger than all of these. So I'm just using my paper as a measuring guide, putting it on my cardboard. However much space I leave on the top, I want to leave about double as much space on the side here because it's going to end up with that much space on this side and that much space on this side. And then I'm just going to trace my paper. And cut out my cover. And then this. With this, what I want to do is I want to just do the bottom half. Okay, so now I have a cover over here, and I have all the pages in my book right here. So now we're going to get to putting it all together. Alright, so now I'm going to take my pages, they've all been folded in half, so basically now I have a bunch of blank papers. I'm going to stack all my pages together, nice and tight. You probably don't want to do this with more than like 10 pages. So I'm going to get them all gathered up here. Okay, so I have my little book placed nice and centered on my cover, as centered as I can be. And now it's time for me to punch some holes in this so that I can sew it all together. First I'm going to lay out where I want my holes to go. So I'm going to do 5 holes. You can do any odd number. So you want to make sure it's an odd number of holes. Don't do an even number, it won't work out. So I'm going to do 5. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to make your holes as evenly spaced as you can. Okay. So something that I forgot that makes this step easier is you can use little binder clips to hold your booklet together. So you can get everything nice and lined up where you like it. And then we can just put, we don't need this paper right now. And we can just clip it together here. So that'll help us while we're hammering. So then you want to go and you want to hammer it. You want to make sure that they go all the way through. So like I said, go do this on something that you can hammer through to. So I'm going to go do this on the floor and then come back. Okay, so I went and hammered. You can see now that I have holes here that go all the way through. So now it's time to bind our book together. So I'm going to take my darning needle and some string. And I want to get myself a string that's about 4 times as long as the spine of my book. Alright. And so now I want my stitches to end on the outside because I'm going to tie a cute little bow right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going in the middle hole. So I'm starting from the outside of my book I'm going in the middle hole. And I'm going to pull it through. So I'm going to make sure there's a nice long tail here because we're going to have to tie this later. Alright, so pull from the middle hole. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go one hole up. And again, I want to pull this tight, but I don't want to lose my tail. So make sure you don't pull too hard or you'll pull that tail. Now from the outside of the book, I'm going to go back from the outside on the top hole to the inside. Now what I'm going to do that I'm at the top of my book is I want to go back one hole. So I'm going to go back into this hole here that I was just in, but this time I'm going to go from the inside. So I'm going from the inside to the outside on that second hole. Now I'm going to go back into the middle hole. So this time I'm going from the outside through the middle hole to the inside. I'm going to do the bottom part, so from the inside again to this second bottom hole. And then we're going to go into the last hole from the outside here. So from the outside into this last hole right here. This second hole right here. This guy right here. Alright, and then we end up with kind of the two tails on the outside like this. I'm going to cut the needle off. So I'm going to cut the needle off over here. And I'm just going to take my strings, tie myself. This is a good spot to get a friend to help. I'm going to tie a nice, tight double knot. As tight as I can get it. And then I like to finish mine off. I'm going to finish it off with a little bow because I think bows are so cute. So that is the binding part of my book. And now we can decorate it. You can fold this guy up. There you go. You've made yourself a recycled little sketchbook. And you can see it's all nicely bound. You can flip to any page. It opens nice and flat. So you can sketch in it, color in it, journal in it, do whatever you would like. And so the last step is if you want to decorate it. So for mine, I'm going to go back to my little handmade paper here. Super easy. Just going to get it nice and gluey. And there you go. You have an adorable little sketchbook or a journal, whatever you'd like to use it for. It's a fun little way to recycle some paper.